Jake, if you can just say your name, school, and position here so everybody else will see the tape.
Jake Lawler, UNC, outside linebacker.
So how did you come to the decision to go ahead and move on and graduate?
Yeah. So in August, I knew that I was eligible to graduate early, and then I sort of kind of vacillated between staying or leaving, and then I guess really towards mid-October, I just sort of felt that I'd given the game all I had, and you know, as much as I love football, and it was definitely a very difficult decision. I love it here. I love my teammates, and I love the coaching staff that they brought in. I just felt that I needed to do what was best for me to kind of get a head start in the life that I want to live for the rest of my life, and that is in Los Angeles. And Coach Brown was super supportive. All my teammates have been very supportive, and that's been great. A great transition so far. So.
Was there a plan to graduate early once you arrived, as you started laying out your course load, and then just kind of see what had happened with football over the course of 3 years, or how'd you lay that out?
Yeah, I had no idea that I was going to graduate early. To be honest, I didn't really think much about my future at all until about January this year. And I guess I sort of just came to the realization that I could graduate early. I'd never really thought about it as much. So I came early from high school, and I came in with 15 credits, and I'd been taking 15 since. But you know, I knew that I could graduate in August of this year, or last year, and I just was like, run with it, yeah.
Jake, in the tribute video to the seniors, everyone else was kind of using like fun and exciting to describe their experience, and used serendipitous. Aaron Crawford just said you throw out a bunch of words that no one knows and has to look up. So I thought we'd play a game, what words does Jake Lawler not know?
Okay.
So I'm going to throw out four words and you got to describe it.
All right.
Atavistic.
Atavistic? Atavistic means that you are relating to something that is ancient or ancestral.
All right, one for one. Chiasmus.
I actually learned this one in my English class. Chiasmus is a rhetorical or literary device where you say sentences or words inversely, so like don't count the days, make the days count. So.
Ameliorate.
I love that word. Ameliorate means to resolve or make better. I've actually taught Vincent Amendola that word 2 days ago. So.
And ubiquitous, you're 3 for 3. Don't mess it up.
Ubiquitous? Oh, of course. I'm sorry. That's shameful that it took so long. It means that it's relating to like everywhere, so it's always present. So. How'd I do?
I would imagine.
So do you look up words, or is it just over time you accumulate it, or how does it work for you?
So before I started playing football, all my time was really consumed with literature, and so if I didn't know a word, I would look it up. We didn't have smartphones back when I was really early, so I asked my dad what it meant. And my dad's knowledge was much deeper than mine, and he kind of helped me out. We also had a dictionary that I used. It's fun. They make the joke that you read the dictionary. I actually did read the dictionary. It's not very interesting at all, but you learn words, so you get to flex a little bit. But it's really just reading. I mean, reading I think is the cure-all to everything. So.
When you say you read a lot of literature, was it like lots of short stories in a volume, or books, or what was some of your?
Mainly novels. I read exclusively fiction for quite a while. I didn't really transition to nonfiction until later. But I love storytelling on the written page. I read before I started enjoying movies, and now I like both, so it's pretty good.
You read during the season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What book are you reading right now?
The book I'm reading right now is I Am Pilgrim. I forgot who wrote it, but it's like a globe-trotting thriller, and I was recommended by a friend of mine who plays lacrosse here, and he said it was great, and you know I've trusted his judgment so far, and it's been pretty good. I think I'm on page 274 last time I checked, out of 600 pages, so it's not too bad.
So you write screenplays?
I do.
When was the first one you wrote?
The first one I wrote was So it's based on my short story that I wrote in January. The first one I wrote was actually after I published my piece in June. So when I kind of realized that, you know, I had something to live for, I started to kind of put that stuff on the written page, and then, so since then I've written 3, so it's been pretty cool.
What genre?
The first one that's based on my short story is, it's dark, I guess. It's kind of like a noir thriller-esque. The second one is more science fiction thriller, and the third one is more like a heist comedy genre. So.
Are those things you kind of go back and refine, or are you having people look at those? Or?
Yeah, so so some of the contacts that I've already made in LA, I've kind of sent them for feedback, and they've always been really receptive, and they've kind of helped me focus the vision so I can get a full print before I start trying to adapt.
If you were to write a screenplay about one of your teammates, who would it be and what would you call it?
I'd write one about Miles, actually. I think Miles Dorn's, Miles Dorn is really a once-in-a-lifetime human being. I think that a lot of people say that I'm sort of an elite human being, which I do not think is true. And I do not think I'm as interesting as people say, but every time I talk with Miles, I learn something that I've never learned before, whether it be about business or, you know, personality or the way that things are going on in life. Miles would be one hell of an interesting book. I'd also write one about Mike, because he's just he's a once-in-a-lifetime character as well, but maybe for different reasons.
Jay, what did background mean to you, and him coming into your life this year? What did it mean to you?
Mac Brown has probably been the most important figure in my life up to this point that are outside of my parents. I think that Coach Brown has been integral to my development as a man. I think that him showing his support when I released my piece was phenomenal. It really opened my eyes to the prospect of a future. Since then, he's been very supportive. We kind of have conversations that mainly talk about things outside of football, which I think is great. I've got to learn to know him and his wife, Miss Sally, who's also an amazing and such a kind human being. But those two have played probably the most important role in my experience here at Carolina in general. And you know, him, just for his advice, and also him extending his kind of hand towards connections and helping me out in Los Angeles to get started, and even him being supportive of me going down that road in the first place has been something that I will never forget for the rest of my life. And I told them that if I ever am fortunate enough to make a film and it is good enough to get press and awards, kind of go on the awards tour, that him and Miss Sally would be some of the first two to write it. So.
Jake, you obviously built this brand of being more than an athlete. Do you ever get annoyed being like, I can ball too, like I'm a good football player?
Not as much as I used to. I think that now I've always been under the impression that respect is earned, just like merit. And you know, I think you have to earn the right to sit in front of you all and ask questions related to football, and I haven't done that yet. I've made my peace with that. You know, there are guys like Miles, guys like Mike that will be drafted, and there are other guys on our team that will also be drafted, and I am not in that category. And you know, I've made my peace with that. I think that, you know, I've kind of swallowed my pride, and I understand my role on this team. It's, you know, to play as hard as I can when I get the opportunities and do everything right and make sure that I'm an example for kids that may be struggling off the field. And if that's something that I have to do, that's something that I'm going to do, because I love Coach Brown, I love the staff, and I love the guys that I play with. And so it doesn't really bother me anymore. I think that now I understand what I do, I understand my role, and I'll play it to the best of my ability.
After the past couple of years, what has it meant to be a part of this team this season? What have you learned and taken from it?
Yeah, this has been phenomenal. I mean, you guys are well aware of our struggles in the past. But I think that those struggles have helped us out a lot in terms of bonding. I think that there's probably no team that I've been a part of that's as close as we are now. And I think that trial by fire is kind of the great test of who we are as people and who we are as a unit. And I think that's sort of helped us out a great deal. But this season it's been great. It's been rewarding. It's been exciting. Some of it's been disappointing, but I wouldn't trade my experience here for the world. So.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks,
Thank you.